Studio Live. In the news this afternoon, Governor Moino announces May 26th as State Thanksgiving Day to mark 1 year in office. State ministries, departments and agencies to appear before House or face legislative sanction. Senate President says no Nigerian will work under inhumane conditions again. And on the foreign scene, death toll from China highway collapse rises to 36. In sports, Borussia Dortmund gets slender first leg advantage in Champions League win. Details of these and other stories coming up in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at this hour. My name is Nyakno Albert. Now the news in full. The State Governor, Pastor Moino, has announced the 26th of May as State Thanksgiving Day to mark his 1 year anniversary in office. The governor, who spoke during the Akwa Ibom State Government House monthly covenant service, the May edition, held at State Government House, Uyo, also announced that his administration is making moves to ensure that all idle state assets, both within and outside the state, are made to become of commercial value or otherwise be shut down, as he noted that it is about time for Akwa Ibom State to make strategic investment that will yield positive and long-lasting results rather than sit around and wait for the state allocation. The governor expressed disappointment over the constant destruction of farmlands by cattle rearers, as he made known his plans to convene a meeting with them to thrash the issue, as he warned that anyone who uses their cattle to destroy farmlands in the states will not only lose their cattle, but will be made to face the law.
We will be very honest with them. We are not going to stop them from doing their business, but they will have to mind how their business affects our business. That's just the point. People cannot do our plans and then we get those lands destroyed. We will enforce the law that find any, we arrest anyone, we will make sure that the law takes its course. In this season where we don't have food, we are trying to get people to farm and then somebody is destroying the farm. It's just unthinkable, and there are some things that are but I've also been told that most of those cattle belongs to us. If you have a little and little cattle, and you think that those cattle, you want to use them to destroy farmland, you will lose it.
Our Government House correspondent, Fonso Harrison, reports that the governor reiterated that during his administration, all chairmen of local government areas must reside in their local government or risk being removed from office, as he stressed that they must work together with him to make the rural areas more habitable.
The chairman's lodge, using NTIPE as a point of contact for all of our chairman's lodge in the state. I will insist, so long as I remain governor, that every chairman must use as one to pick up the phone and start campaigning. Not that there is a law that compels you to live in your local government.
And still in Akwa Ibom, the state governor, Pastor Moino, has approved the release of another 2 billion naira for the payment of gratuities across the board and the commencement of the recruitment of health workers in the state, as Akwa Ibom state workers join the rest of the world to celebrate May Day. The governor, who made the announcement during the Workers' Day celebration held at the Uyo Township Stadium, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, stated that the priority of the workers and their welfare remains paramount, and assured that their demands presented by their respective leaders will be considered and looked into, as he again reiterated to the workers that he understands their plight and will do everything to boost their welfare. Our Government House correspondent, Fonso Harrison, reports that the governor also used the occasion to declare the first and third Friday of every month as Farm Day, as part of measures to boost his agricultural revolution drive and to enable and give state workers the opportunity to cultivate and grow their farms.
You must go back to the farm. Nothing with the missionary
On the minimum wage, a topic that has been a critical discussion among Nigerian workers, the governor stated that the minimum wage for Akwa Ibom State will be determined and concluded upon after a decision has been reached by the federal government.
The head of service, the commissioner for health, and the chairman of the civil service commission will soon announce the modality. Remember, I promised I was going to come back to the secretariat to celebrate with the workers. Now, we will not have been a better day than today. We know that we can never ever say we have done too much for our workers. We'll continue to work with them years and years as long as you give us the opportunity to do so. We continue to ensure that we improve our workers' welfare. I mean, the minimum wage works on the federal government, and then we will key into it and come to terms with the minimum wage for Akwa Ibom civil service.
The governor again reiterated that the state bulk purchase project is an intervention project, describing it as a short-term solution to a long-term problem, as he urged Akwa Ibomites to return to their farms to boost food sufficiency in the state. Meanwhile, the NLC chairman, Comrade Sonny James in Akwa Ibom State, and the TUC leader, Mr. Dominic Abang, speaking on behalf of workers in the state, thanked the governor and listed some issues needing the governor's approvals, to include the prompt payment of gratuities of salaries and palliative implementation, provision of CNG-driven buses and electric cars for the citizens, release of 2023 promotions and implementation of that of 2024, approval and payment of salary arrears owed by 9 local government area chairmen to workers, among others, while thanking him for his prompt response to the payment of retired primary school teachers and assured him of the union's support until the end of his tenure. The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has given 42 ministries, departments and agencies another chance to appear before its Committee on Science and Technology for interface about the application of The Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has given 42 ministries, departments and agencies another chance to appear before its Committee on Science and Technology for interface about the application of ICT in the discharge of its respective duties in state or face legislative sanction. The House took the decision following the submission of a report by the Chairman, House Committee on Science and Technology, Honorable Engineer Udwak Ekbofort, representing Etinan during Tuesday's plenary. The Chief Whip of the Assembly, who doubles as a two-term member for Mbo State constituency, Right Honorable Effiong Johnson, moved a motion for the report to be received for discussion and was seconded by the member for Oran State constituency, Dr. Itorobong Etem. Ebofort frowned that 42 MDA's refusal to respond to the invitation of the committee was contempt towards the leadership and members of the 8th Assembly. The Speaker, Right Honorable Elder Odemotong, while granting the request, advised the committee to ensure wider publicity of invitation to the 42 MDAs on electronic media, noting that if they fail to honor the second invitation, they should be summoned to appear on the floor of the House. Away from that, as fuel scarcity continues in different locations in the country, the federal government says it has begun a 15-day emergency fuel supply to ensure the commodity circulates across the length and breadth of the country. The government also disclosed that vessels importing premium motor spirit would continue to berth at the shore to discharge petrol to different depots from where the product will be distributed to different filling stations. The Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria had in a statement on Tuesday said its members in Apapa and other locations in Lagos had been receiving 300 million liters of fuel from 8 vessels this week. This was after the Southwest Regional Coordinator of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Ayo Cardoso, confirmed to some journalists that aside from the 240 million liters offloaded at various depots on Monday, close to 85 million liters of petrol were offloaded as of Tuesday evening. And talking legislative matters now, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has assured Nigerian workers that the National Assembly and the executive arm of government would work collaboratively to give them a living wage and better working conditions. The Senate President declared that no Nigerian worker will again be allowed to work under inhumane conditions, and that they will do everything to give Nigerians the best they deserve. Akpabio made the declaration yesterday in a statement signed by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, SMA Igbo, to congratulate the workers as they commemorate the 2024 May Day. The Senate President reiterated that the theme for this year's celebration was apt and in tune with the international best practices, assuring that Nigeria will not be left behind. You're listening to Global News at noon on Memories 96.5 FM, and now we head to the foreign scene. In China, Meizu city government says this morning that death toll from a highway collapse in southern China's Guangdong province has risen to 36, adding that dozens of people have been injured. It added that 30 other people had injuries, but none of them are life-threatening. The government said 23 vehicles had been found in a pit after a 17.9 meter long section of the highway gave way at about 2 a.m. yesterday, as the ground beneath the highway appeared to have caved in along with a section of the road above it. Parts of Guangdong province have seen record rains and flooding in the past 2 weeks, as well as hail. Some villages in Meizu flooded in early April, and the city had seen heavy rain in recent days. And in sports, Nicholas Fulkrug scored a brilliant first half winner as Borussia Dortmund beat Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in a frenetic first leg of the Champions League semi-final yesterday. The German international used his right foot to expertly bring down a long ball before hammering home his left foot to give Dortmund a 36-minute lead. After a poor first half, PSG missed several chances to equalize in the second, with Kylian Mbappe curling an effort off the inside of the post before Achraf Hakimi struck the woodwork moments later. Fulkrug should have scored a second after great walk down the right flank from on loan Manchester United winger Jadon Sancho, but the striker could only blaze over the bar from 5 yards out. In their third Champions League meeting of the season, Dortmund got the better of the League One winners with the directness of their play, their aggression and tenacity. And that's it on Global News on Memories 96.5 FM. But before we go, let's take a recap of the top stories. In the news, we told you that the state governor, Pastor Moino, has announced the 26th of May as State Thanksgiving Day to mark his 1-year anniversary in office. We also informed you that Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has given 42 ministries, departments and agencies another chance to appear before its Committee on Science and Technology for interface about the application of ICT in the discharge of its respective duties in state or face legislative sanction. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has assured Nigerian workers that the National Assembly and the executive arm of government will work collaboratively to give them a living wage and better working conditions. And on the foreign scene, Meizu city government says that this morning that death toll from a highway collapse in southern China's Guangdong province has risen to 36, adding that dozens of people have been injured. And in sports, Nicholas Fulkrug scored a brilliant first half winner as Borussia Dortmund beat Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 in a frenetic first leg of the Champions League semi-final yesterday. That's the size of our news package this afternoon, as edited by Ofonisabasi Johnson and assisted by the production team. For your views and comments regarding our news or coverage of your newsworthy events, you can reach us on email at newsroom@memoriesmediang.com or call our newsroom hotline on 0909 000 0581. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Memories965FM. And now let's take you down memory lane. On this day in 1997, British Labour Party leader Tony Blair became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He was the youngest person to hold the office since 1812. That's the news. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Nyakno Albert. Good afternoon.